Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC Podcast, brought to you by the REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me as always,
Erik Icarus.
Eric.
What's up, host?
You can find us on the gram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast. You can follow yourself.
Gulag_J_Wilden.
Look, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. We don't post on the REC Podcast very often.
We're busy.
We
should get on
I'm not making any excuses. We just don't. I post on mine quite a bit. But if there's some type of content you guys would like to see on the REC Podcast, you just want show updates or anything like that, clips, let us know. Comment below.
Yeah, let us know what you want. We're here to give it to you.
Yeah. And for the podcast listeners, if you aren't checking us out on YouTube to see what two bomb dudes in their late 30s look like, you're missing out.
You're missing out hard.
You're missing out. Believe it or not, Eric and I are the same age. Life's been hard on me.
And we live drastically different lifestyles.
Yeah. I thought I was living healthy. Eric's living hard. Preserved him. A la Keith Richards. So
Iggy Pop style.
Yeah, Iggy Pop style, man. Yeah. Just feeling it, kids. How are you doing, man?
Dude, I'm good. How are you, man?
Good, dude. I'm good, dude. Just feeling good today. Feeling good.
Feeling loose?
Not tight, if that matters. All right.
Uh-huh.
We've got some fun stuff coming up this week, guys. I'm just gonna be honest. Snydercut's coming out this week. I'm getting excited for it just because I'm craving comic book stuff. I'm not really. My hype level's not high. Okay,
Right.
My hype level's not high because we've talked about it at great lengths. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but it's just hard for me to get excited for a 4-year-old rehash.
Sure.
That you're like, hey, you remember
that wasn't good in the first place.
Yeah, you remember that movie you didn't like? We made it longer, right? It's supposed to be 4 hours plus and this and that. So yeah, I'm excited to watch it. If we can, we'll try to watch it together. But
we'll make it. We'll try
even
to
our
make it happen.
schedules kind of stink.
What days does this
I think
premiere?
it's Friday.
This Friday? Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely watch it, and then we'll, the week after we will have a,
yes.
Either together or separately, but we will both watch it for
Yes. And, guys, I am going to try to give it a fair shake because the spite in me wants it to be good because, I know we'll never get any more, and you guys did that because I was not a hashtag release the Snyder Cut guy.
Totally.
But more than likely, I assume it's just not. It's just I don't think it's gonna be much stronger.
Right.
I'm sure it'll be a little bit better, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath.
Right.
If it's good, I'm happy to be wrong. I'm happy to enjoy it. I will come out here and I'll sing the praises.
Yeah.
Even if it's just a little better.
Yeah.
All right. Because again, I'm not convinced that Joss didn't make it better already. So.
Sure.
Which.
I mean, that's
Yeah. Just gross. It's just gross.
I'm on the exact same page with you. I'm gonna give it a fair shake. I'm gonna see what's up. It's become an event at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't know if there's a lot riding on this. I don't know if it's going to be like the be all end all for DC. I think it might just be another miss.
Yeah.
Even if it's a big success, I don't think it's like a big thing for DC.
No, I think they're just ready to get over it. Like, hey guys, we did it.
Yeah.
Leave us alone.
It's closure.
Yes, it's
we
closure.
all need closure, kids.
We do, and I'm fine with that.
Yes,
I'm fine with that. And for the third week in a row, I have to adjust your camera because I want to get more of you in.
You want more of me?
Yeah, more of the.
Get more of me.
Sun, all right? The Navajo Brogan, all right? With that, we have some great Marvel stuff coming up, and we have some interesting Marvel stuff coming up in pure Marvel fashion. But first, they announced a book that I'm interested in concept.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a kind of Captain America road trip style book where apparently it's going to have Steve Rogers, Sam Wilson,
sure,
John Walker, who is a U.S. agent, and Bucky.
Yes.
And it sounds like they're going to kind of be somewhat road tripping a bit meeting and maybe establishing new Captain Americas of different states. Yeah. It's not a... I mean, it's something of an idea. I'm more interested in just those four guys road tripping
because they're all so different.
They're all very different.
Yeah.
Everybody who's wielded the shield, they're all very, very different.
It's very true.
And I think that therein lies would be something interesting. But they did announce one of the Captain Americas is going to be it looked like a Native American, maybe. They did point out that he was homosexual with weird overalls and the kind of the what do you call those chucks that go up the legs a bit?
Oh, I don't know, like thigh-high chucks. I don't know. I know what you mean.
Chucks. A very bizarre image, to say the least. But
What's this character's name?
I don't know.
Isn't it Aaron something?
It's Aaron something or other.
Okay.
And
we'll go with Aaron.
Yeah, I'll try to put up a picture for you guys.
But yeah, okay. So we're establishing that these 4 well-established heroes are going on a road trip together. They've all wielded the shield at some point. Have all been Captain America, right? All 4 of those guys.
Yep.
At some point.
And
yeah, I think it's interesting to do this. I think they're maybe using this as a metaphor of how America is just changing.
Yeah.
There's a changing of the guard. Our Captain America doesn't have to look a certain way.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a certain way, as long as you embody the spirit
what it is of America. Yeah.
You got to be an American, not an American can't.
They did a similar story a couple times with Batman. They had which is my favorite name for it. It was in Kingdom Come, and they referenced it as the Batman for All Nations.
Okay,
and that was a very interesting. Somebody who represents the Bat in major cities across the world.
Right.
Which they didn't delve deep into it, but it was a very interesting idea. Grant Morrison later on elaborated with. And maybe not on that story in particular, but he wrote a book called Batman Incorporated, and I believe there was a Batman representative for each state.
Okay,
there was a Native American Batman. He might have even been like the Man of Bats or something like that. Headdress, the whole thing, thing. Yeah,
they'll slime you.
Yeah. And that was kind of a fun thing because we got Knight and Squire from like England, which was a very cool representation of Batman and Robin.
Right. And then you had the Siegfried and Roy in Las Vegas.
They did not, but that would have been awesome. So I've seen this type of idea. I've never seen it applied to Captain America, and I think that they're doing the woke thing, and Marvel's gone down this road before and not been super successful with it overall. We did get Kamala Khan, which was awesome. Like, she's a great addition.
Did Sam you almost say Kamala Harris?
No, I always say because it's Kamala Harris, and I used to call Kamala Khan.
Right.
So like I'm still having a hard time saying the word correctly. I'm not sure.
She's Miss Marvel?
She is Miss Marvel, yeah. Right. She was exposed to the, I believe she was part of the Terrigen bomb that the Inhumans set off, so her powers, I believe, are Inhuman.
During the Infinity storyline?
Either pre or post, I can't remember. But yes. And... I forgot where I was going.
Yeah. Well, it was, you were touching on the woke thing.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, thank you. So they've leaned into that before and it wasn't well received then, but it's actually being more well received now.
Of course.
Because we are getting a Miss Marvel show. We are getting Sam Wilson as most likely as a version of Captain America in Falcon Winter Soldier.
Right.
We did get, let's see, people hated the Jane Foster Thor.
Yes.
People hated that.
Did not go over well.
Now everybody's super excited. We're getting that in Love and Thunder.
Yes.
So in some ways Marvel was ahead of the curve, and in other ways they lost a lot of people. And I'm not calling out your dad, but your dad's a huge Thor fan,
right.
And he just couldn't and with good reason, he just couldn't identify with the female Thor anymore.
Sure.
And not that he could identify with Odin's son, but that's what he grew up with.
Yeah.
So
I think it was also, it's not that he doesn't respect female comic book characters, because he loves the Enchantress. He loves Sif, and I think it was just like you said. I think it was the shock of, where is my Thor?
Yes,
and I think that's kind of where our generation is a little bit more. I'll give this a shot.
Totally.
I think we're a little more open to new ideas with the comic, because you can't. We're more open to just more ideas.
Yeah, you
can't have the same thing over and over and over and over again. We let's mix it up a little.
Totally.
Let's throw Jane Foster to hammer and see what happens.
Yeah.
We have a horse.
Yeah.
Why not Jane Foster?
Right.
We have Alanis Morissette as Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, God. Or Sarah Jessica Parker.
As Beta Ray Bill.
To that point, like, I'm craving some Beta Ray Bill.
Me too.
Coming up, hopefully in Guardians. They say that's the rumor, but who knows? Who knows? Are we gonna get Adam Warlock and
Beta Ray Bill? Yeah,
it'd be a lot.
I mean, we have seen Beta Ray Bill's face.
Yeah.
In Thor Ragnarok, so he's out there.
Yeah.
Coasting the cosmos.
We'll see if they announce any more of these Captain Americas. We'll probably have to delve into it more once more has been revealed.
I'm a little excited about it.
I am too. I just don't like leaning into that. Right. That's our thing. Well, I'd rather be surprised.
Sure, I think that would have been kind of a cool idea.
I would rather be surprised.
Just give us the road trip idea with Sam, Bucky, John Walker, and Steve in the car.
Yeah,
and that's enough for me.
Dude, totally.
Because like we said, those are 4 very different guys.
Yeah,
I want to know how John Walker, the U.S. agent, is going to receive this new Captain America.
Yeah, because he's very much
right leaning.
Yeah,
he's like he's all about America, like Steve Rogers, but he'll put the hurt to you.
Oh,
If you wait down with Lady Liberty, he will hurt you.
Yeah,
like Steve will like give you like a talking to if you're bad mouthing Lady America. John Walker will stomp your face into a curb.
Yeah. He's what you don't want in your Captain America,
pretty much.
But you want him on the front lines because he's going to get stuff done.
Yeah.
So, which we're going to see him in Falcon Winter Soldier, which is also premiering this week.
Exactly. I'm excited.
It's going to be a shorter. It's going to be like the mini series.
Yeah.
It's going to be a shorter. Runtime than WandaVision.
Yes.
I think we've talked about it at great lengths that we are excited for a little bit of action,
right?
A little bit of espionage,
yes,
and this kind of bro thing, and it kind of feels like they're on a small road trip.
Sure,
the buddy thing, so it kind of fits in with that idea of that road
tripping, road tripping caps, baby.
Yes. So
I mean. Where do you think this is like? I mean, we can just speculate real quick. I think this is going to ground us back into the MCU. We got WandaVision, which was, for all intents and purposes, just out there setting up major plot points for what Phase 4 I think is going to be. I think this is going to bring us back down into a more intimate level.
Okay,
not kind of saving the universe, which was WandaVision was kind of getting to that point. This is going to be like, oh, we need to just get this done. I don't know what their job or mission is going to be, but I'm excited, bro. It's going to happen. What do you think?
I'm going to go the other way.
Oh,
I'm going to say, because we know Zemo's the main bad guy, most likely. There are the enhanced. They're not the Watchdogs. I can't remember what their team with their vigilante names are, but with the red handprints on there. What if Zemo is so upset that not only, because initially he did break up the Avengers.
Right.
Not only is it undone, but they are united in force. I don't think he blipped away. And guys, I haven't seen much of I've seen one or two TV spots. I haven't watched much of anything.
We try to stay away from him.
But what if Zemo is trying to even the playing field? What if Zemo finds something magical? What if Zemo finds a way to bring back the Red Skull? That would make a lot of sense.
It would.
That would make a ton of sense because this show right now seems like the odd man out.
Yes, it does.
This one because we've got WandaVision, heavy magic. Loki going to be heavy magic.
Yep.
Doctor Strange, is going to be, and then we know Doctor Strange is going to be in Spider-Man.
Yes.
So they're leaning. They're bending heavy magic right now.
So this is very much the odd man out.
And I can't remember if I said this in the last show. Are the Eternals going to be magic instead of celestial beings?
Sure.
Are they going to be both?
Right.
Is it going to be one and the same? So this would be the perfect way to bring back a version of the Red Skull. Or maybe we get a mild version of in the original like Winter Soldier storyline in the comics. What happens is there's this Russian ex-KGB guy, and his name is like Erskine or something like I can't remember his name. He's doing business with the Red Skull. He gives him a cosmic cube, this and that. Well, he also ends up, spoilers, arranging for the Red Skull to be killed. And this is where we first see the Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier snipes him. And while he's holding the cosmic cube, well, we find out through the story that he, like in his like dying breath, used the cube to transfer his consciousness into that Erskine guy,
right?
So that they're the Red Skull and this KGB dude.
Yeah.
So like, could Zemo? Maybe he can't bring back his body,
right?
But he's able to bring back his essence, his form,
totally.
And then he's looking for magical items. He knows that Hydra had a bunch of these things,
right?
So he's and he had all those Hydra secrets. Like, this is right in itself. Yeah, it could be. Right, this could be low key, magic related.
Sure,
and we just don't know about it yet.
Right. I think I'm with you, man. I think you won me over with this.
It could be interesting.
I'm excited now. I'm just more excited for it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what they could do. Is this going to tie into the rest of the MCU, or is this going to be the odd man out?
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know what's going to happen. But that's half the fun, kids.
Exactly.
Be along for the ride. It's fun to speculate, but at the end of the day, we don't know. No. And that's great.
Yeah.
Just dazzle me.
I'm having a lot of fun with it. Okay, a lot of fun. But on this note,
road tripping.
road tripping. You know, you and I have gone on a few road trips with
definitely done a
boys.
few. We've done a few.
We did one to Comic-Con for your first year
Yes,
in
indeedy.
2019. You
Seems
did
like a lifetime ago.
It does, man. And you didn't think you had the road trip in you, and you did, and then we had a good time.
And we had a blast, kids.
Cap Winter Soldier, or Falcon Winter Soldier, got us kind of talking about some of our favorite road trip comic books.
Yeah.
There's a few. There's actually there's a bunch, but there's a few
that we just kind of liked.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about our favorite comic book road trip stories. Not even stories; they're just favorite road trip comic books.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
Yeah, go for it.
So just jump in, kids, because we need a saga.
Yeah.
I want to jump right in. Let's go with Old Man Logan, right?
Old Man Logan's a good road trip. Yeah. You don't think about it like that at first terms, but we have an older version of Logan, Wolverine.
Yes.
Meeting up with his old buddy Hawkeye, who is blind, in this post-apocalyptic type of world where not necessarily did all the heroes die, but the heroes fell.
Yes.
America's kind of a wasteland in most parts, and we have Old Man Logan having to get across to go across the country with Hawkeye. And they see a bunch of stuff. We then get a bunch of history about what went down.
Happened. Yes.
They have like Giant Man Falls.
Yeah, it's called Pym Falls.
Pym Falls, thank you.
It's when you're first reading, you're thinking like maybe it's a waterfall, and then they get to Pym Falls, and it's just this. It's a giant skeleton where Hank Pym fell.
Yeah, it's where he died.
Yep.
And it's like this bridge. Like you have to like drive through
him. Yeah.
Oh,
and it's pretty gnarly.
So dark.
I mean, it's got it's a cool road trip story because it's got the Hawkeye's got to drop. I don't want to give the story away.
Yeah.
Hawkeye's got to drop something off to somebody.
Yeah.
Enlist the help of Logan, because Logan at this point is a pacifist.
Yeah.
He has not popped his claws, and his landlords are the Banners.
Yep. The Hillbilly Hulks, as we call them.
Hillbilly Hulks, who are just a bunch of Bruce Banner. The gamma rays or the gamma radiation has
affected his mind.
Affected his brain. He's impregnated his cousin, She-Hulk. And they've had a bunch of inbred kids. And anyway, long story short, the Hulk, wants his money from Logan. So he takes the Hawkeye up on that offer, and they go on this trip. And like you said, we see a lot of disturbing things.
A lot of disturbing things. We see where the villains kind of carved out their parts of the world.
Right. It shows a map of the United States. And you've got Kingpin over here, Magneto.
Yeah.
Red Skull.
The Red Skull was the funnest one.
Yeah, that one was. We don't want to give too much away because that is one of the most chilling panels I've seen in comic book history. Is when they get to Red Skull. So that
super
is
fun book.
Read Old Man Logan, kids.
Yes. And it has that kind of feel of sometimes when a futuristic movie has like a Western feel.
Yes.
A la, let's say, Book of Eli.
Sure.
Book of Eli kind of has that feel to it.
Totally.
And this reads that way. Super fun. Steve McNiven art. Who his Old Man Logan is the best. Mark Millar from everything.
That's
we love
great.
Mark Millar.
What is your favorite thing in that book? 'Cause I got mine. If you don't have yours, I'll just tell mine.
Go for yours.
Everybody wants this because we want this as a toy. We want a venomized Tyrannosaurus.
That's true.
We want this, kids, and that is in this book.
That is in there. Yeah, the Venom symbiote has attached itself to this Tyrannosaurus
from the
Rex
Savage Land.
From Savage Land, and it's hilarious.
It's pretty awesome.
It's hilarious
because I want it.
The Pym Falls thing was cool, and then obviously the fight with Logan and Red Skull is probably my favorite part of the whole story.
It ends kind of
it
whatever.
ends weak. It's just not what I wanted.
Yeah.
But they ended up keeping that character in the MCU or in the Marvel universe for quite a while.
A minute.
And super fun.
It's cool. And
super
then the reason why Logan doesn't pop his claws is very it's disturbing as well.
Yes. Check this book
out. It's a good
out.
mystery.
Check this book out.
Yes, sir.
There's a really fun 80s book. I don't think it was the 70s. Right. It was definitely the 80s, I believe. Maybe late 70s. But it was called Hard Traveling Heroes. And it was a Green Lantern and Green Arrow kind of crossover book. And they just kind of like, oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Denny O'Neil, Neil Adams. I mean, classic stuff. And they're just kind of road tripping, not necessarily like across America, but they're just kind of like staying grounded.
Yes.
And they're going, I mean, there's one point in the story where they're fighting, they get in a bar fight with these guys who insult them. Hal takes his ring off to make it fair, and they're having this fight, and then these for lack of better terms, hillbillies end up getting his ring. They're making fake beers. It's a ridiculous book, but there are some heavy moments to it. In this book here, in the kind of the Storyline, we have Speedy being a heroin user. Yeah, it's heavy. It's really heavy, but it's also fun, and it's old school boxing glove Green Lantern.
Yeah, oh, totally. Yeah.
Boxing glove on an arrow. Green
Is
Arrow.
it kind of like it's like Kang and Kung Fu, where they're just traveling around doing good where they can.
Yeah, and having a good time
just
while they're
bros
doing
going
it.
out on a road trip, getting into some scuffles.
Yeah.
And it did have a pretty decent run, I'm assuming.
Yeah, totally.
It's got two of the greats on it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go wrong with this.
Yeah.
And talk about like what works for these two for me is like they're so different.
Yeah.
But they're kind of the same person, and that's
Yeah.
what makes a good road trip or a good, friendship even. And I am down to read a little bit more.
Hal's a little bit more cocky in this era.
He
in
is
comics.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
His call sign I think is Highball. Like he's always
he's a little
yeah. Like this is obviously pre-Parallax and then
sure.
any
So
of
he's
that
still
stuff.
a little carefree.
Yeah, this is
freewheeling.
definitely a more grounded series, which is what's always fun about the road trip type thing. There's a Daredevil run.
There is
a Daredevil.
I was
run.
going to bring it up because it's not very good.
It's okay, but it's just of the runs, it's the most formulaic. It is I have to stop in this town because of this.
Yeah,
and it's and these really lend themselves to that kind of Western feel. That one had a big Western feel as well.
And you got the man out of town coming in, sees the town folk in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Hero's got to do what a hero's got to do, and they're like the reluctant hero at this point.
Yes,
like they're kind of hanging up the tights and like, I just want to be left alone, but pulled back in.
Yeah,
because they got to do justice.
Bad always finds them.
My favorite moment in that Daredevil run is when he gets to this diner and he's trying to order food, and he doesn't want anybody to know he's blind. They give him a menu, but it's laminated. Yeah, so he can't read the food. So just give me the special. Like, what does that mean? And so just like, what?
Yeah, and I would like to see some stuff like that fleshed out in the MCU, especially with our street heroes.
Absolutely.
With it, whether it's Matt and Frank or Matt and Danny. Like I would like to see that type of thing fleshed out in the MCU for sure.
Yeah. Kind of tying this into what this new Captain America thing is going to be doing. Steve Rogers kind of already did this.
Yeah.
There was a point in the 80s where Captain America, Steve Rogers, gives up the mantle. He does not want to be Captain America anymore.
Yeah.
So he's
a captain without a flag.
Yes.
There's even a time where he's just called the Captain.
Yep, the captain.
The captain.
Yep.
Yeah.
But before the captain, there was Nomad.
Yes.
And yes, Steve Rogers was known as Nomad for a while, and he basically was traveled around, did good where good needed to be done. I believe it starts in Captain America 175 is when he gives up the mantle of Captain America. And it's funny because we post a picture for you, I don't know, but he does not look like you think. Like when you think Nomad, what do you think?
Well, our Nomad.
We do have a Nomad
from the late 80s, early 90s.
Ghost Rider hero.
Yeah, Ghost Rider.
I think he was Johnny Blaze actually at one point. Or is he just Nomad at that point?
Yeah, I don't think he's Johnny.
Oh, that's right. I'm getting Nomad confused.
Dan Ketch.
Yeah.
Anyway, was he Dan?
No.
Anyway, he's just wherever I may roam.
Yeah, basically he has
biker.
That Metallica song blaring in his head. Biker. He does look like our boy Renegade.
Yeah. Oh, so much like
he looks like Lorenzo Lamas. That's what I think of when I think of a Nomad.
Yes, and he's part of the Midnight. Is he part of the Midnight Suns? He does help out.
He does.
There.
He does help out with the Ghost Rider stuff.
He does. Yeah, he's around there. And so we've had two Nomads. Well, the Steve Rogers Nomad has a yellow cape.
Yep.
Yellow gloves, yellow pirate boots.
Yeah.
And like a blue suit. It's terrible.
He does not look like. He does not scream. BA. Mofo who's out there to like dispense some justice.
Dude, could you imagine like the Chris Evans Captain America as that Nomad? That would be so. He looks like somebody that they made fun of, like in The Boys, like
totally.
like one of the
drummer boy, or something.
Yeah, something super just like lame and nerdy.
But what's cool about this too is he does assemble a team of fellow nomadic people, heroes, I guess. He does enlist the help of Demolition Man.
Oh, who looks like Wolverine and Daredevil.
This guy is an ex-wrestler who's got some super enhancements, I guess, and his two favorite superheroes are Wolverine and Daredevil. Slams the costumes together. Copyright infringement ensues, I'm assuming. Also, Captain America has his boy Falcon with him.
Yeah.
Why not? And they also, Steve is dating someone at the time.
Who's he dating? I don't recall.
He is dating this woman named Vagabond.
Vagabond. Oh.
Yes, he has a girlfriend named Vagabond at this point. And they just travel around, doing good where it needs to be done. And it's great. I'm assuming it's great. I vaguely remember it.
I just remember the images more than the book. I mean, that was something that I went back to read.
Sure.
After I saw this character and I was like, "What nomad is this?"
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Steve Rogers."
Yeah. Did it blow your mind when you
it
first
blew
saw
my
that?
mind.
Yeah.
It
I was
blew
like,
my
wait a
mind.
minute. I had to go to my dad. I was like,
yes,
Dad.
I think I might have done the same thing.
Yeah. I was like, and he's like, oh yeah. That's when he gave up the mantle, and that's when we get John Walker stepping in as Steve. As the normal Captain America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I think Steve eventually realizes how silly that suit is.
Yes.
And then he adopts my favorite Cap costume, which is what U.S. Agent ends up wearing.
Oh, okay, yeah, when he's just the captain.
When he's the captain.
Yeah.
It's a black costume. It looks so cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't fit Steve, though.
It doesn't.
Fits
like
John Walker.
Yes, it's great for John Walker.
John Walker is a scary guy. I'm telling you, kids, go read up on your U.S. Agent. Yeah. He is a scary person.
And he's coming up, so we'll see how he is portrayed.
Yeah.
How crazy they make him.
Yeah.
He's not quite a Nuke.
No.
But he's
there.
like the bridge between Nuke and Cap.
Right. I mean, it's crazy because John Walker does become the head warden of the Raft in the comic book. So the Raft is where they detain supervillains,
which we saw in the MCU. That's where they were keeping in the Civil War.
Yes, they have it in the one of my favorite storylines because I think that's where they introduced the Sentry.
Yes. No. Is he on the Raft?
Yeah,
he must.
Because remember, Foggy is there with Matt, and Foggy's like, "Please help! I don't know if you can hear me. My friends are in
I just
trouble."
couldn't remember if that was the Raft or if that was Rikers.
No, I think it was the Raft.
Okay,
yeah, because there's also a cool
the new
scene
Avengers storyline is great.
It's so amazing, and then on the same issue, Peter Parker gets his hand broke or his arm broke by Jigsaw.
Yeah,
a Punisher villain of all people. I did not know he was juiced.
Yeah, he is enhanced.
Oh,
yeah,
Jigsaw.
Enhanced,
okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they just snap him at the forearm. He is getting messed up in probably the greatest scene in the book for me, and it's relevant, is you see Spider-Man being overwhelmed, just being messed up on the Raft prison, and then just the shield cutting through everybody, and then just Cap standing in the rain saying, "This ends now."
Yes.
And you're just like, oh,
goosebumps.
This does end now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great. We got the Purple Man, we got Luke Cage, we got Daredevil.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a great book.
And
it's a great series.
One of the best things I've read in a long time.
Yeah, the story's called Breakout from the New Avengers. Totally read it. So good.
Maybe we end on a somber note here. Or not a somber note, just because the book sucked.
Oh, yeah, it's just something new. It was an interesting idea. I believe it was J. Michael Straczynski. Please don't crucify me for saying such. But he did a Superman story called Walkabout, which was a very cool concept. Again, all of these are really good concepts. The idea of the hero walking amongst the people. And he wanted to do a story in which Superman didn't fly.
Okay.
So he literally has him walk across the country doing good where good needs to be done, this and that. And it really lends itself to Superman. He kind of feels he's just handling extraterrestrial planetary issues, and then he's lost kind of his touch with the human, with the everyman.
Yeah.
And at his core, Clark Kent is the everyman.
Yeah, he's your fun boy.
So, he's walking across the country.
Yeah.
Good John Cassidy art.
Yes.
And it was fun for a few issues, but it just went on too long.
You can't keep doing the same things. Like, Clark's in this town.
Yeah.
What hijinks you gonna get into today?
And again, it has that Western feel,
sure,
which is fun.
It's
but
cool,
it's just we've seen it. We've seen it, and everybody's always complaining about how lame Superman is, even though he's so powerful. You make him lamer when you just have him walk. You just have him walk. It's not the best idea for what we want is. I liked, again, we'll reference the New Avengers. There was a really great thing where Luke Cage is like, look, I'll join. He's like, but I want to do real good.
Right, I want to help my community.
So there's a single issue where they're in Harlem, and it's like Cap, Ronin, Luke Cage, and they're just standing on a corner. And it causes some of the drug dealers to go up a few blocks.
Yeah.
And somebody goes up to Luke, one of the people who live there, and he's like, what are you guys doing? He's like, nothing. He's like, today we're going to stand on this block, and then tomorrow we're going to go up a couple blocks, and we're going to keep doing this until our streets are cleaned up. And it was just a really
that
cool.
That is how you do
again, just really, it was just a couple pages, and Luke, was open about it. He's like, "Look, I'll join your team." He's like, "But we can't just be aliens.
Yep,
we
robots, killer robots.
Yeah,
we got to help the community."
Yeah. So I thought it was a really clever thing that Bendis did.
Sure.
It made a lot of sense, and I loved it. That's a cool way to humanize them. Be like,
Absolutely.
Okay, we got to refocus a little bit,
right?
Because thank God, not every day is wizards, aliens,
in Age of Ultron.
Yeah, Age of Ultron. It's real things happening, and it was a really clever idea. I'd like to see a little bit, just like I'd like to have some touch base every now and again, just kind of see how stuff's going.
I think that's how that walkabout could have been.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much. So.
Maybe not necessarily have him leave Metropolis, but maybe he stays there and kind of does that. He goes to the streets.
Yeah.
And I kind of get the aspect of him not flying.
Yeah.
Like bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
He sees us from above all the time. Like, bring it to the streets.
Yes.
And maybe he does that. Maybe he actually takes a walk through downtown Metropolis and sees what's really happening.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've got to do something, and instead of like maybe him fighting, gang members and drug dealers, he has to talk to them.
Yeah.
It has to you be an inspiration to these people, be Superman to these downtrodden people. And that's how he wins.
Yeah.
He's like, look, I don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
It is, I've been around this galaxy 1 billion times. I've been off this planet. I still don't have the answers.
Yeah.
Because all you can do is try to be better than the person you were yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think that's what that book maybe was lacking a little bit.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
It was just kind of weak in its execution, just because, again, we have those problems with Superman sometimes where he just feels kind of boring.
Sure.
And that just made him interesting for a couple issues and then boring for more.
Right.
So you're just already adding into that pot. Give me a superhero duo you'd like to see go on a road trip in the story.
Man. I want to, you know what? Her name lends itself to this Rogue. Oh, yeah. I want a Rogue, but I need someone who is a good shotgun partner for Rogue. You know what? I'm going to mix it up. I want Rogue and Kitty Pryde to go on a road trip.
Interesting.
I want that. Kitty needs, I can see it now. Kitty really kind of not necessarily uptight, but she doesn't cut loose that much.
Yeah.
Rogue, kind of the opposite. She will go out and have a good time.
Yes.
And I think it just
Thelma and Louise type of feel to it.
Big time. I can see this book being that, man.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah.
I can be into that.
Yes.
I'd like Johnny and Ben.
Hey.
Yeah. Thing and Human Torch. I think that would be really fun to see.
That would be just two homies out on the road, man.
Yeah. Nothing with the kids. And hell, I'd like to see the whole Fantastic Four do it too. Just
in a motorhome, like an RV.
Yeah. That would be fun, right? That would be fun. Just like Reed's always got his head in the stars, and maybe he hasn't appreciated Earth's natural things.
Yes.
Just have him go to Mount Rushmore. Have him do a family road trip. Have it be a vacation.
Yeah. But with the Fantastic Four, and then, maybe they run into Mole Man.
Yeah.
Maybe he's messing around on some farm or something.
It would be really cool to see what they're doing, and just like to have kind of Reed appreciate what Earth is for.
Like Earth, yeah.
What family time is for.
Exactly.
Hell, maybe Doom shows up a little.
Yeah.
Because Valeria asks him to.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love that. I love
this book could happen.
The Doctor Doom and Valeria thing is like one of my favorite subplots in all of comics, man. Yeah. Her first word was Doom.
That's right.
Yeah, because he gives her he gives her toys that subliminally say who he is.
Yes.
So
it's pretty gnarly.
It's just keeps peeing in Reed's cereal.
That's why I love Doom.
Because if you don't know, that's why I like Doctor Doom so much, because he's so petty.
He is.
He's so powerful and so petty.
And he'll do that.
Because if you don't know, Doom, and we've talked about it on the show, but Doom actually delivered not one but both of the Richards children.
Yes.
He's
a doctor.
Yeah, but he's a doctor like Dr. Dre's a doctor. And so Valeria is named, and that's the daughter of the Invisible Woman in Mr. Fantastic. And Valeria, he delivered Valeria, and they give him the opportunity to name her, and I believe Valeria is his mom's name.
It is.
Or and she has a weird control over him though. She kind of listens. Doom kind of listens to her too.
Yeah.
It's a really fun dynamic. I don't know that we'll ever get that in the MCU, but never say never, because I would love that.
Yeah, it's got. I have that kind of weird kind of thing where it's very me and your daughter are close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think it has that same kind of thing, like
Yeah.
where I can get upset, and then she'll say,
Yeah.
Uncle Eric, and I'm like, okay,
Like, it's fine.
It's all
fine.
good. You're right. You're right. So I get that. That's why I like it so
yes.
much.
So you know what? That would be really fun.
That's awesome. I'd be so down for that. Homie.
Real quick before we finish, let's go 2 villains you want to see road trip.
Oh my god, dude. I'm so down with this one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to get out of the mutant realm here.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have yours?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
So I really want to see, because I'm going to go a little dark here, man.
Go for it.
I want to. We did bring him up, or did we? It doesn't matter. Let's see. I'd really like to see Cletus Cassidy, Carnage, go on a road trip. Who would he be a good foil to? Or even someone who just makes him even crazier? Help me out here. Who do you think would be a good road trip?
I think it would be interesting to see him go with Eddie. I think it would be fun to see him. Like
let's go Eddie and Cletus on a road trip. I think that. Yeah, dude.
And your story is somebody takes a symbiote from him.
There you go.
So like you give them a common thing. It's like, look, I hate you, Cletus.
Yeah.
But Eddie's like, well, this, you can get close enough to your symbiote so we can get it out, but then I can kill you for end this.
Yes.
And Cletus has the same thing.
Exactly.
So that would be really fun because I think you'd have the argument of too much like Sweet Home Alabama on the radio.
Yeah, there's a lot to be done there.
Yes.
Yeah, because they're so different.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a good road trip story. The differences.
And
I can see that almost being not necessarily dark, but almost playing to a trains, planes, and automobile
Very
kind of
much
road
so.
trip with Eddie and Cletus.
And I'm gonna go back in the FF realm, which I know it's weird that I stay in there so often, but I do love Fantastic Four. I would want Namor and Doctor Doom. Namor and Doctor Doom.
Interesting.
Yeah. Namor and Doctor Doom. I would like, just off the top of my head, something to do with like different waters across so there's something mystical about them.
Sure.
And he doesn't want to talk to Reed about it.
Right.
So you have Doom even disguising himself.
Totally.
And going out and doing this, like I think that would be really interesting, and them both kind of seeing like what America has to offer,
right? What's
good and what's bad. I could even see them doing a little good.
Sure.
Like I would like to see that, because Namor is not evil. He's just what's good for Atlantis.
Exactly.
What's good for me.
Right.
Yes. And those two were often would often team up.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yes, they would.
So I would like to see that road trip.
Because they're both very down with where they're from.
Yes.
Latveria, Atlantis. Yeah. They're both the hometown heroes.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. Very well respected for the most part by their subjects.
Yes, I'm down with it. I want all those road trips.
I'm down for it.
Let's go on a road trip right now.
I know. Let's leave. Let's go. Kids, that's our show.
We're out of here.
If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the little bell too, so you get notified when we've got new stuff up. And again, if you're just listening on the podcast apps, we do put Roman's
To the Hunt.
Dude,
and it's a mailbag. It's a weekly mailbag issue where the two of us get new stuff.
Yeah.
We want to show the goods to you.
Yeah, showing you the goods, bringing you the goods.
Yeah, we're all about the goods here, kids.
Eric, do you have any final thoughts for us today?
Nothing makes... What do you need for a good road trip, man? You need a good car.
Tunes.
You need good tunes.
Snacks.
And one down MFer.
That's right. And I need baby wipes because I will poop on the side of the road, okay? I don't need to find a toilet, kids. That has been our show, kids. I have been your humble host, Roman Chavez.
I'm still Eric Icarus.
And we will catch you on the next podcast.